After a while, it gets kind of loud.
So let's hope that doesn't happen.
And then you don't hear what you're saying, and
Well,
the answers to
my
the
class is
questions.
gonna be okay. It doesn't get loud when I hear it, so.
And the answers to the questions, you know?
Did that happen before? Do you know?
No, he never had me.
Okay.
I had another person.
Good morning.
Good morning. Make the book nicer.
It's thinner, right?
It's thinner.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
You don't get nervous when you see a thick book. Oh, there's so much.
No, it's pretty good. I mean, I think if you write it, it's going to quicker.
obviously you don't have to turn it on now. I already checked. Oh, actually, no, I didn't give you that one. I didn't check. We give you the A. Thing for me because I don't get paid that extra 2 hours on the boat. So I know, but then these 2 hours, that was good. I know. I think it was just a little bit too much at times. I agree.
Oh, you gave it to him?
Nikki, yeah, Nikki helped. Oh. Yeah, he's next door.
training from you guys, but you know the card that you received in front of you. Can you write your poll worker number down? Yeah, write it down on your book, on your manual,
yeah.
so I can collect them. Write it down on the, yeah, that's for you guys, that's your job. You can write it anywhere. Where's your card? You have a card? You don't have a card like that? A training notice?
Okay, what you want to do now?
Yeah, that card, that will tell you that you're gonna do what you're gonna pay.
Basic phone worker name? Anywhere else?
Yeah.
You want your
Yeah, cause that's what, this is a phone call.
I want you guys to have your own poll worker number. You get what I'm saying? I want you guys to have it. The manual is for you guys. But the card, I'm gonna take it. Like she said, it's to show that you guys believe it.
Yeah.
It's $100 class.
And a pay.
Right, so that's the purpose of it. But I want
I don't have that.
I'm gonna call you in. No, I'm gonna call you in. I just have to know. And you have to write down your name.
Just want the number, you want your name too?
No. Your number is for your
Yeah, that on it.
You have the number. Yeah, this is the next, I will give you the answer, that's how you get there.
All right, good morning, everyone. I'm sorry that we're a couple of minutes behind, but there's a good reason. This is actually my first time at Monroe College this year. I've been here quite a few times, but we have to set up the equipment and stuff like that, and make sure we got certain supplies, so that's why it's taking a little long. Next door, there's another classroom, and what I decided to do is actually put together the BMD and the scanner. So that way, because there's no room here to show what you guys need to do. So I'm going to open it up, I'm going to talk about a couple of things, and then in a little while, we're just going to maybe just take a little walk there, and I'm going to do both machines at the same time, so that way I don't have to do it later on. Okay, that would make sense? Right? So, and it's better, because it's more room, and I'm able to do the machines there. Okay? Now, my name is Samuel Straticelli. You guys just call me Sam. Okay? Cell phone, if you would know, right? He's a veteran, if you would know. I'm glad it went off. Guys, if you have a cell phone, just put it on vibe. I don't expect you guys to turn it off. We all have responsibilities, so. But if you need to take a phone call or make it, just kind of do outside, so that way the class can continue. Bathrooms, when you initially first came in, up the stairs. Okay? The second floor, just don't tell me you're going. They want to know. All right? How you doing, sir? How you doing? All right. Just sit anywhere over here. Mommy, can you put your chair in? What's your name? Linda. Linda? Linda, can you let my friend in for a second? Oh, just push it a little bit. All right, sir. Okay. Okay, so, now, my friend over here, what's your name again? Arthur said, oh, look, it's 4 hours. Yes, it is. It's actually 3.5 hours, because I have to give you guys at least a half an hour to take the test. It's 25 questions. The first 17 are multiple choices. 18 to 25 is true or false. Now, I've noticed in my first 2 days, we've been doing this 3 weeks, and the first 2 days, people are asking me for extra time. Even the veterans, they're like, oh, I'm a breeze through this, and then they go, oh, I need more time. They changed the test, but listen, it's very simple. All you have to do is read the question, understand where the question's going, and the book is going to guide you. I'm going to talk about all that. I'm going to take care of everybody here today. I'm going to show you some tricks. I'm going to tell you what to look for, where to look for it. You see that? And we're going to do the screen. Now, this is one of the new things that the Board of Elections have implemented as part of the training, because about 96-97% of the people actually learn through visual, right? That's just the way it works, right? The memory bank. in your brain just picks things up quicker than if you actually have somebody read it to you. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little bit of showing on the screen, because if I show you how to do certain things and you see it, you kind of grasp it better, right? You take in the information better. Now, again, but guess what? I figured it out, Arthur. I think I could do this by 3 hours, right? It's been working for people. I've done this class in 3 hours and maybe 5 minutes, the most. And so that way you guys have ample time to take that test, okay? Now listen, there's one thing I'm going to do throughout my class. I'm going to repeat things. So if you hear me repeat something, hello, you can have a seat, please. If you hear me repeat something, write it down somewhere. Because I'm only going to repeat it twice, right? It doesn't read it. Now, in the back of your books, there's this thing called notes. So if I repeat something, put it into your notes. You see that? So there's going to be a combination of me repeating things. I'm going to repeat things. There's going to be stuff on the wall to remind you. There's going to be hands-on, things you remember, and also the book. You see that? Now, I love the book because the book is real thin, right? And it has tags. So that's why I say to you, just read the question. See where the question is going. Is it the opening? Is it the serving the voter? And if the question has to do with any of those, then just go straight to where you need to go. See that? If it asks you a question about the opening, go to the opening. Okay? I guarantee you can find the answer. All right. Now, I want to, there's 2 people next door setting up some equipment. Nurka and Nick. And then you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Nicole.
Nicole and
Duga.
Duga. Now we've been working together for a while, right? They're also trainers. They're going to help me throughout the day. But since I like to talk, I'm going to do most of the training, right? Plus I threw on my favorite shirt. Stay up here for a little while. Show my shirt. All right. Okay, so now if you guys can please turn to page 4, please. Okay, page 4. Because that's exactly where I'm going to start. Now, I'm not going to go through this whole book. I can't do that. And also, I have to give you guys some responsibility when you get home, right? From here to September, I want you guys to be able to kind of review some of the stuff that I don't go over today. Fair enough? Because my main goal is to show you guys and train you guys on what you need to do the day of the election. That's my goal. I'm not going through certain things. I'm not wasting my time with those things. I'm going to start at page 4 because actually this is important to me, right? It talks about disability awareness. Now, ADA, Americans with Disability Act, and the Board of Election have been kind of feuding, right, on some many issues, right? They, ADA, their concern is all of these disabilities, right? They're saying to the Board of Election, hey, listen, you have to have proper signage. You got to have somebody responsible for those signages, and you got to make sure that someone is by the accessibility entrance to let those who have some form of disability have access, right? Also, inside your poll site, it has to be in a form where anyone with a disability has access, free access, right? They're roaming around. You don't have to go over here or over there. You see that? It's a flow. So they say, hey, let the voter with some disability, some form of disability, be able to get their ballot, be able to mark it, be able to scan it, and then have access to leave, right? In a, how do you say, traffic-free environment, right? We don't want people crisscrossing. So, I like to go over the first 2 statements because the rest of these, I want you guys, from here to September, kind of go through them. It's important, right? Because we're going to run into people with some form of disability, whether it's blind or visually impaired, with hearing impairment, speech, and so on. And so you take the time from here to September and just go gradually to each one. It shows you how to treat certain people and how to guide them. However, I want to go, I want somebody to help because I'm going to do a lot of talking. So, yes.
Can I send you back on the book?
That is yours, absolutely. You could do whatever you want, just don't throw it at me. The only thing you can do. All right. Page 4. Can someone read both statements where it says never assume and in general guidelines? Can someone read never assume? Go ahead,
Never assume that a voter requires assistance, even though they appear to have different abilities than the average person. If you think a voter needs special assistance, ask specific questions about how you can be helpful and listen to and respect the voter's answers.
Thank you. Can you go ahead and read general guidelines?
If a voter asks for your help, listen to or ask for instructions as to how best to assist. Relax. Don't be afraid to ask questions when you are unsure of what to do. If a voter is assisted by an aide, make eye contact and speak directly to the voter, not the aide or anyone else. Be patient. Take as much time as is necessary.
Thank you so much. That's important. I want you guys at your own time, your own pace, and just got to go through each one, because each one has a special way of taking care of those people that have some form of disability. If I speak about it now, you probably won't get to it later, because I went through it already, okay? So just go through it gradually. You have a lot of time. And by the way, it's good to know that information anyway, right? Because wherever we go, we always run into someone with some form of disability, okay? Any questions? Can I move on? All right, page 7 and 8. Page 7 and 8, that's very important because it talks about your team. Right? It talks about your team. Now, I want to go through Now, I want to know who's their first time working. That Linda? Linda, is it? Okay. What's your name? Linda, and Linda. That's easy. Tell me your name is Linda. What? Francesca? Okay, I could have it. All right. So now, for the new people, right? When you pass the test today, in a couple weeks, you know that card you brought in today to come into class? You're going to get the same one with your new address to go to work, your new position and all, right? Two things. First of all, find out, the board of election tries to put you in and around your area. But it's hard because people have been in their position for a long time. Nobody want to leave their position, especially if they live in the neighborhood, right? So they're going to try to put you somewhere in and around your neighborhood. But if you get something a little bit further, don't be upset or anything because they just don't have the room in certain places, okay? And then if you don't know the area, take the time to kind of visit that area. See how long it's going to take you. If you have a ride, you know, if you have somebody to take you or you have to take a bus or something, just kind of figure it out, okay? Because remember, you got to be there at 5 in the morning. So when you get to your location at 5 in the morning, you have to meet the team. The first person is that coordinator. The coordinator is simple, supervisor. He or she is that person that you're going to go to for everything. Okay? So meet your coordinator, make sure you introduce yourself, and that coordinator is going to start to tell you what to do. Now, that card may say, Francesca, your job is the table, or your job is the BMD. Don't rely on that. Just remember that he or she can tell you where else to go. You're like, listen, I don't need you there, I need you here. Okay? So I don't want you fighting with the coordinator, Francesca, right? Just on my card say I'm staying here. All right. Police officer. Yes, Arthur.
Yeah, but I have a question. You usually on your first time, they don't sign and they tell you something cold.
Okay. I understand that. I'm going to go through the training. You're absolutely right. But I'm going to go through the training how it's normally done. Because if I scramble with those questions, right, it's going to take a while. It's an open-ended question. The thing is that coordinators, they act and treat people differently and they guide people differently. I can't, coordinators are different. They'll let you do certain things certain ways and they assign you. I can't go through that. I'm going to tell you what normally would happen. You would go to the site, introduce this up to the coordinator, and he or she will tell you where to go. But see, the cool thing, and I think, thanks, Arthur, for that, but the thing is, the reason why it's going to be there seems to be a lot of information is that I have to prepare you for all three positions. It's not that you're going to do all three, it's just that I do not know where the coordinator is going to put you, so I have to prepare you for all three. That's why it seems that there's a lot. But you guys have me. I know how to train, and I'm going to train you a certain way that you're going to get it. If you can't get it, then I don't know what else to do. Because I am going to train you the right way. I guarantee you that. Okay? All right. Police officer, law and order. There's always a police officer at your site. If you have an issue or have a problem, don't take care of it yourself. You know, what you say, that's good. Don't do that. Police officer, take care of this person, right? That we're not there to take care of anybody's issue. You're going to get everything done. At the table, you're going to get people upset, angry, in a rush, their own perspective, their own theories, their own, everything at your table. Because you're taking care of the voter. But it's none of your business. How can I help you? Okay, police officer. Make sense? Coordinate. Don't take care of it yourself. ED table chairperson, don't care. You guys can read that. That coordinator will let you know who's the chairperson. It's very simple. It has it on there anyway. ED table inspectors, that's a position that I'm going to show you guys how to open. I'm going to show you some examples, and then I'm going to close it up. That's a position. And I like to do it one by one. I don't like to open everything and talk about everything. It's impossible because you get lost. Where am I doing this? Where am I going? No. I like to open it position by position so it can make sense, right? Because that's your responsibility. That's a responsibility, and I'm going to show you how to open and close that. Scatter inspectors, that's also a position. 2 people, bipartisan. I'm also going to show you how to open, show you some examples, talk about that receipt at the end of the night. Those 2 receipts at the end of the night, people go crazy with that receipt, right? They don't know what to do with that receipt. Where to go? How to do? I don't know what to do. I'm going to show you what to do. Nothing's changed. The only thing that's changed this year is that there's 2 of them. And in the first receipt has something that we call style number, right? I'm going to show you what to do with that. It's easy. I'm going to show you a way to how to get those numbers so that the people at the table could do that return of canvas. That's another thing people just mess up all the time. They just lose their mind. They don't know how to count. They're 5 plus 5 is 11. No, it's not. It's 10, right? So I'm going to show you an easy way to take care of it. Okay? All right. BMD inspector, ballot marking device. People love this position because they don't pretty much do nothing, right? They just stand next to that BMD and just
sleep.
they get the glasses with the eyes on, because you know they just fall in sleep like that. But this year they did something cool, and actually last year as well. They allowed people to sit by the BMD. You know, they're 5 feet away, right? Because it was a long day.
You had to stand up.
Yeah, your job is to stand up all day. However, the Board of Elections said it's okay. If it's not going to be busy in September. We're going to have an easy election in September, right? There's not much going on. So those who are brand new, Linda and Francesca, this is a good time for you to kind of take it in, because it's going to be real slow. It's not a big election. And so the Board of Elections said, listen, if it's not busy, let these people sit. You know, if there's no one in your poll side, grab 2 chairs or folded chairs and sit by me. Okay? So I go to Co-op City. I live in Co-op City. I go to Co-op City all the time. Everybody's sitting down. I'm like, what? Where's everybody at? Even like it's like a bingo game or something. Everybody's sitting down talking. But you can do that if it's not busy. As soon as someone approaches the position, then you get up and now, come on, how are you? And they take care of it. Okay? But the coordinators, the guys, they know what to do. So that's a position. I'm going to show you how to open and close that. Information clerk. Now the information clerk, you see on page 8, right? You see it says information clerk. I want you guys to put page 55 and 56 on there. Page 55 and 56. Matt, you go right in. That's it. Okay. What's your name? Okay. So page 55, and the reason why there's 2 reasons why I told you to write that. One,